Welcome back to the Professor's Lab. I'm Professor V, and this is round two of the Die Hard League tournament that took place on July 13th, 2023. If you didn't know, Die Hard League happens every Thursday starting at 6 p.m. Central at Die Hard Games. More info in the description. Please give this video a like, subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications, put your thoughts in the comments, and all that other good stuff. But anyways, let's get into the game. Alright, so here we have Arceus Duraludon Umbreon versus Lost Goodra. Lost Goodra is just gonna open up with three battle VIP pass. Only gonna choose to play two. So beautiful. Battle VIP pass. You can only play it on your first turn. When you do, you can search your deck for two Pokemon. So we are gonna search our deck for four Pokemon, or at least the Lost player is Lost Goodra. Gonna find two Comfey, a Goodra V, and then maybe a Greninja or a Cramorant. I don't think we need three Comfey in this situation. Um, you probably don't need another Goodra because you're not really scared of it getting knocked out um, on the first turn or on your opponent's first turn. So gonna go ahead and find the Cramorant there. Think this is totally fine. Maybe the Greninja would have been good or better, let's say, and which it still can be found because there's a third battle VIP pass. Um, but it depends on what's in the hand, I guess, too, because if there's no energy in hand, then maybe really no big rush to get the Greninja out, the Radiant Greninja. Gonna attach an energy to the active to retreat into Comfey and use Flower Selecting. Flower Selecting lets you look at the top two cards of your deck. You keep one of the cards and you send the other to the Lost Zone. So this is how the Lost decks, the Comfey decks, will start to make their way through the deck and get cards in the Lost Zone. Um, Spoiler, it's Professor V on the left playing. So I remember the Lost player had a lot, however, a number of tough flower selecting choices, maybe even a tough chorus one. But either way, Raihan goes to the Lost Zone, and a more important card is kept. Let's see, we're going to want to see some switching cards. There we go. Escape rope to switch into the other Comfey and use the second flower selecting. And let's see what we have to pick here. Maybe another battle VIP pass would be good, but we're going to get rid of a Super Rod. I think that one's okay. A lot of times the Lost decks will play multiple Super Rod or Recursion cards. Let's see what's next. The third battle VIP pass. I think that's the first time in the Professor's Lab we've seen three battle VIP pass on turn one. This is why you cut your opponent's deck. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We're gonna go ahead and find a Goodra V, the second Goodra V. So went ahead and went for that. Maybe that Greninja's prized if that's the card that's played in this deck, the Radiant card. We'll have to see. Excuse me, either way. Pass of the turn. Nest Ball. I imagine that's gonna find Arceus V, the most beautiful one. Arceus gets a dark energy attached to it, and it'd be very nice to see an Adventures Discovery played here to find more of those V Pokemon, or more Nest Balls, or Ultra Ball, or something to find more V Pokemon to put down. But technically, all of the Arceus deck needs to get rolling, and Arceus deck needs to get rolling, is Arceus V and an energy attachment. Looks like we did that. Maybe debating to play a Ultra Ball in hand, but I think it was just held on to because no clear cards to get rid of. And play resumes on the Lost Goodra side. Course Experiment. Supporter, look at the top five cards of your deck. Keep three of them and put the other two in the Lost Zone. Got rid of the nut ball. Yeah, we probably don't need that anymore. And another Comfey. There's already two in play. One more in the deck are the prizes, so that's okay to get rid of compared to what cards you kept. Flower selecting. Look at the top two cards and keep one, lost zone the other. So I think another tough choice here for our Hisuian Goodra V-Star player. When this Goodra deck gets rolling, it is very menacing and seems almost impossible to take down with that V-Star healing, Moisture Star healing off damage and reducing damage by 80 and two-shotting everything in the format in turn and only giving up two prizes. So yeah, definitely a strong foe. Let's go with that, you know? So we're gonna get rid of a Mirage Gate. Tough choice, but it's okay, I guess, compared to what that other card is, and that you play three Mirage Gates. I think you really only need two ever in this matchup for your two Gudras, maybe to get some Greninja attacking going on. But looks like we're going to attach a Jet Energy to the benched Comfey, bringing it up into the active, and then we're going to see a second flower selecting. Getting rid of a Jet Energy, keeping something else, sending that Jet Energy to the lost zone, and our lost count is at 6. Very good. Escape Rope, obvious choice. Arceus goes up, Cramorant comes up, and it is going to spit disrespectfully. This player's Cramorant spits disrespectfully. For 110 onto that Arceus. Top deck of Duraludon V, benched it. That would have been nice to have last turn. But that's okay. This happens in Pokemon. We're going to evolve into that Arceus V-Star, and Arceus V-Star will make some things happen. With its Starbirth ability, V-Star power, V-Star ability, you get to search your deck for any two cards you want. And usually the card is double turbo energy if you didn't have it already, or energy to attach. Very nice if you don't have to search out an energy. But oh yes, I think right here was called over for some help uh, on another game state. Um, so let's see. I won't make you guys wait on this one. Let's see. It looks like we're back. Um, Asking how many cards are in the opponent's hand. I think there might be an Iono being debated on. Let's see. Yeah, I think I see that Iono in there. And I think you do uh, support or draw supporter first before the V-Star, but no, maybe that's not what's going on. So we're going to activate that V-Star ability, Starbirth, searching for any two cards. One card has to be that shiny double turbo energy in order to get the attack here to KO the Cramorant and accelerate some energy. There is an interesting interaction here with the Duraludon. It looks like we're debating Lost City, but that I think would not be the best choice because it sends cards to the Lost Zone, fueling that Mirage Gate. Even though Cramorant couldn't be recovered if it was in the Lost Zone, I think it's still more harmful um, if it added to the Mirage Gate count. I mean, the Lost Zone count for Mirage Gate and potential Sableye. Not sure if Goodra plays Sableye or if this one did or not. But we're debating on the second card because we really just needed the energy. Depends on what's in hand, of course. Um, let's see, I think this deck plays Path of the Peak. Oh, yeah, that could have been good. Um, yeah, to shut down that Moisture Star. Goodra's V-Star power. Interesting. Maybe it's too soon for it. Maybe it's found and then held. I'm pretty sure this Arcturus plays the Path to the Peak. It looks like it's Judge actually to disrupt the opponent's hand. That's always a good strategy against Lost Zone decks to disrupt their hand that they've been slowly amassing and crafting to be perfect and large to be able to execute their game plan depending on the situation. So it looks like going for the judge. I can't remember if I debated the path to the peak or not, but watching this here in the professor's lab, that could have been a good card to have either kept in hand or maybe maybe you don't slam it down instantly, you hold it for when you swing into the Goodra to then block its healing ability. It looks like an Umbreon V is found, put onto the bench, and attacking with Arceus V Star, Trinity Nova. Search your deck for 3 basic energy and attach them to your V Pokemon in any way you like. I think we just go straight for fully powering up that Duraludon V. So when it's a VMAX, it can start swinging. Now the VMAX's attack does 220, and the Gmax pulverization 220. This attack's damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So even if a Goodra V would have used Rolling Iron, um, it would not take any reduction. Gmax pulverization will not take any reduction due to its effect of its attack. That's something I learned here on the spot. So yeah, things just keep thinking about that path, grabbing that path off of the Starbirth would have been nice to shut down Goodra's healing ability. Looks like a flower selecting was done and a boss's orders was added to the Lost Zone. I believe that's the second boss's orders, but Mirage Gate is online. I'm gonna double check here, recount. We got 7, at least 7. Mirage Gate is gonna allow the lost player to search their deck for 2 different basic energy cards and attach them to their Pokemon in any way they like. And if I was a betting man, which I am, I would bet that they are both going to go on that Goodra V Star, and it is going to become active and take the KO on the Arceus V Star. Let's see, it would be nice to see that second Goodra evolve, so that way it can have more HP and be a little bit more protected. Um, but we're going to retreat, manually retreat to the second Comfey, so we must have a switch card in hand. Going to do flower selecting, looking at the top 2. I'm going to lost zone 1 and keep the other. This is a hard choice. I think this was the choice between the boss and a um, Goodra V-Star. You could see our Hisuian Goodra V-Star player agonizing over this and even just showing because there's already one boss in the Lost Zone, and Lost decks usually play fewer bosses. Maybe the Goodra deck plays more, at least 2 we see, since there's not as much Sableye shenanigans, a Lost Mine going on. I think we discussed pros and cons of each choice, and the Goodra player really didn't want to get rid of the boss. I thought it was obvious, just keep the V Star and evolve it, the one on the V on the bench. But in the late game, boss's orders could matter more. It depends on the Goodra V Star count, but I imagine it's probably like 3-2 or something like that. But I don't know their exact count. Maybe they have 3-3 or more. But tough decision. Goodra goes to the Lost Zone. Basic switch into the Goodra V Star, fully powered up, and going to take the KO on this Arceus V Star for 2 prizes. And now minus 80 damage is in effect, not for Duraludon. Duraludon VMAX is found and slammed down Gigantamax. That's the most giant Pokemon card I've ever seen. Choice Belt, debating on if the Choice Belt math would matter here. Right here, I believe I still thought I would be taking, or Duraludon's attack would be reduced by the Rolling Iron. But this is where I learned at League. You know, that's where you're supposed to learn about Pokemon cards. Uh, that the Gmax pulverization isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So we're going to swing for 220. If we had a path to the peak here, we could prevent Goodra from healing itself using its V-Star ability, Moisture Star. But looks like it was not found or potentially even considered. I don't remember thinking about that at all during this game. But that's why we're learning. We're learning in the professor's lab all together and having a good old time. All right. It would shut down Umbreon's ability, Umbreon VMAX's ability too, I guess, as well as Raiden Alakazam's. But I think the benefit of letting that damage stick is way worth it. Let's see, Zamazenta is going to hit the bench, energy attached to it. Check out my hand right there. And we are going to play, or the Lost player is going to play a course experiment. Looking at the top 5 cards of their deck, going to keep 3 of them and send 2 to the Lost Zone. Going to get rid of a course experiment and an Ultra Ball. So maybe that there is only 2 Hisuian Goodra V-Star in deck. Moisture Star activated, healing all of that damage off of the Hisuian Goodra and two-shotting this Duraludon VMAX. Not looking good for your professor here. But that's okay. Still a very enjoyable game. Always fun to play some Pokemon. Forget about the world and just think about your friends and some Pokemon for a while. Play resumes on my side of the field, the Arceus side. Duraludon Umbreon now. Alright, there's my hand. A Duraludon VMAX, Choice Belt, and 2 Arceus. Not a lot going on, so nothing else to do but attack. Gmax Pulverization for 220. No damage reduction on it due to its damage not being affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. Attacking ends the turn, and play will resume on our Hisuian Goodra player side. They are going to attach an energy to Zamazenta, having their backup attacker ready to go. I imagine there's only 2 Goodra V-Star in the deck. That's why we're not investing into the Goodra V. And a Moisture Star for KO on that Duraludon V. 1 prize left for our Hisuian Goodra player. Going to promote Umbreon and hope we get lucky. Top deck instantly reveals the VMAX. So now we're going for a stall play. Going to use the Umbreon VMAX ability Dark Signal to switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active Pokemon. I believe the one that comes up is the one with the most retreat cost. So it's that Goodra V, and we're going for Dark Signal and Prey. Well, we know the Lost decks play lots of switch cards to do the Comfey Flower selecting dance to get their deck and Lost Zone rolling. And then there we go, basic switch and boss's orders on the Radiant Alakazam is going to take the game. Sometimes it's just not your game, and congrats to our Hisuian Goodra V-Star player. That's going to do it for this video. What do you guys think? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time in the Professor's Lab.